beautiful wedge shape of C4 Corvette. It doesn't only look sharp, but it cuts the Corvette history in two parts. The first one being the graceful, curvy and sexy generations of C1's split windows and stingrays, while the other part being the powerful and modern C5 to C7 generations. C4 occupies the middle ground, marking the transition from form to function. The C3 Corvette was a thing of desire, but towards the end of its life, its graceful lines were no longer enough to conceal the outdated mechanicals. Enter the C4. It was nothing short of a revolution, a clean sheet design light years ahead of the previous generation in terms of efficiency, build quality, powertrain and chassis performance, while still managing to stay utterly beautiful, which cannot be really said for the generations that followed. The first Corvette was introduced to the public in 1953. It was all show but not much go, as it was equipped with a 6-cylinder engine that lacked the punch to compete against its domestic rival in the sports car arena, Ford's Thunderbird. The switch to the V8 power was swift. Throughout the years, Thunderbird evolved into a heavy cruiser, while Corvette remained true to its two-seater origins, getting faster and sportier with every generation. At the beginning of the 80s though, Corvette's performance car image was tainted. Due to the strict emissions and fuel efficiency regulations, 5.7-liter engine was producing less than 200 horsepower. And because of the flexible frame, it was not much of a handler either. The time had come to put the Corvette back on the fast lane. The first step was to design a brand new platform to build on. The goal was 1 g of lateral acceleration, a lofty number, mostly reserved for track races back in the day. It was obvious that the traditional body-on-frame had to be ditched, in favor of what GM called a uniframe, which consisted of traditional frame with door post, windshield frame, halo and the rear portion of the floor pan integrated into one welded assembly. As none of the exterior body panels were structural members, this was not a unibody, like say in a Porsche 911. However, it was more than up to the task. Perhaps to further emphasize the cutting-edge technology employed in the C4, GM decided to go with a digital dashboard that somehow looked like, well, an Atari arcade. All in all, a car with an iron block pushrod engine with the basic design coming from 50s could hardly be mistaken for a spaceship coming from Mars. It rather was the underrated Moon Rover, shadowed by a small step, but the force behind the giant leap for the Corvette.